Dubai, huh. Now that's a city that knows how to make a statement, right?
Okay.
Glittering gold, those incredible skyscrapers, and a whole set of rules that always seems to get people talking. And today, we're diving right into one of those topics that, frankly, everyone's curious about alcohol in Dubai,
It really is fascinating how much attention this topic gets.
right? It's like this global hub trying to balance those traditions with, well, let's be honest, being a playground for the rich and famous.
Yeah.
So, where do we even begin with this whole thing?
I think the first thing we need to address is this whole idea that Dubai is totally dry, like bone dry.
Yeah, that's the misconception, right? You see those headlines and you think, no way, can't get a drink in Dubai.
And while it's true that you're not going to see people, strolling down the street with a beer in hand,
Definitely not.
Dubai is not quite as strict as some people might think. It's more of a,
Well, what? Give us the inside scoop.
it's like this intriguing gray area, to be honest.
Okay, I like where this is going. Intriguing gray area. So, it's not a complete free-for-all, but it's not a desert for drinks either.
Exactly. And that's where things start to get interesting, especially for anyone planning a trip there. Because let's be real, one of the first questions people have is,
How much is this going to cost me?
exactly.
Hit us with those numbers.
Okay, so full transparency here. Dubai is not exactly known for its budget-friendly beverages.
Yeah, those taxes and the whole license venue thing definitely add up.
Right. You're mainly looking at hotels, restaurants, those fancy bars. That's where you'll find it. And on average, you can expect to pay, probably around $12 to $16 for a beer.
Oof, that's a pricey pint. And I'm guessing those glamorous rooftop bars everyone raves about are even steeper.
Oh, absolutely. You're paying for the view, my friend.
But there's got to be a way to, navigate this whole cost situation without draining your entire travel fund. Tell me there's some insider tips.
Oh, there are always insider tips. One thing that really jumped out from our research is that licensed liquor stores, like those MMI and African plus Eastern chains, they actually have way better prices than bars.
Okay, that's good to know. Like a significant difference.
Oh, yeah, it can be a lot cheaper. The catch is you need a license to buy from them, but still worth knowing.
Right, because if you're a resident, that's a game changer.
Exactly.
Speaking of licenses, though, that's probably where most people start to feel a little, I don't know, lost.
Totally understandable. It can seem complicated, but it's actually not too bad once you break it down.
All right, break it down for us then. What do our listeners absolutely need to know?
So, first things first, tourists, you don't actually need a license to drink in those licensed venues we talked about. Like, at all. As long as you're of legal drinking age, you're good to go.
Yeah,
However,
there's always a however.
if you were thinking of, like, stocking up your hotel mini fridge,
Yeah, that's not happening.
no, that requires a license. And ordering online, same deal. You need that license. Which brings us to a pretty interesting development. Dubai actually changed its licensing laws recently.
Oh, yeah. That was big news. Didn't they make it easier for people to get licenses?
Way easier.
Like, how much easier are we talking?
Well, for residents, it's completely free now. Just need your Emirates ID and you're good to go. And for tourists, you can actually get a 30-day license at some stores.
No way. Seriously, just show up, grab a license, and you're all set.
Pretty much. You need your passport and entry stamp. But yeah, they've definitely made it more tourist-friendly. Still going to maintain that balance, though, right?
Always got to respect the culture and traditions.
Yeah.
It's what makes Dubai so unique.
Exactly.
But knowing that they're adapting, it does kind of make you wonder what other changes they might have up their sleeve in the future.
Who knows? That's Dubai for you, always keeping things interesting.
So we've talked about the whole balancing act Dubai's doing with alcohol.
Yeah, those licensing rules can be a bit tricky.
But let's talk about the fun stuff, like what's it actually like to go out in Dubai? What makes it so special?
That's the thing about Dubai. It's not just about, like, grabbing a quick drink somewhere. It's an experience.
Give us the details. What kind of experience are we talking?
Well, first of all, the variety is incredible, you know? You've got your Irish pubs, your rooftop bars, even these beach clubs right on the water.
Okay, that sounds pretty amazing already. So it's more than just the place itself. It's the whole vibe.
Exactly. Dubai's all about that luxury experience, and that goes for the nightlife, too.
So we're talking like impeccable service, those fancy cocktails, stunning views. All
Exactly. It's about creating a certain atmosphere, you know?
Okay, I'm sold.
Oh,
But, and this is a big but, especially with all that luxury we're talking about, it's got to be pretty expensive, right?
well, it can be, yeah. But Dubai's also got those legendary happy hours and ladies' nights.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those.
Yeah, they're a pretty big deal there. You can find some really good deals, sometimes even free drinks if you plan it right.
Okay, now that's what I like to hear. Strategic sipping. I like it. But seriously, For anyone heading to Dubai, what are some must-knows about the whole nightlife scene?
Well, first and foremost, safety, right? Dubai is super safe, but always drink responsibly, especially with the alcohol regulations they have.
True, true. And it probably goes without saying, but don't even think about drinking and driving, okay?
Absolutely not. Zero tolerance. And luckily, taxis and ride sharing are super easy to find in Dubai.
Yeah, much better option than risking it.
hmm
Anything else people should be aware of?
Let's see. Oh, this one might seem obvious, but don't even try to bring alcohol into places where it's not allowed.
Like no sneaking a drink into a park or anything?
Nope, they're really strict about that.
Good to know. So we've got the safety stuff, the practical tips, but there's also the cultural aspect, right? How do we be respectful visitors?
Yeah, that's important. I mean, tourists are totally welcome in Dubai, but it's important to remember you're a guest in their country. Just be mindful of that.
Yeah, makes sense. Appreciate that local culture, right?
Mhm.
So we've talked about the present day situation, the costs, the do's and don'ts, but things weren't always this way in Dubai, were they?
No, things have changed a lot, actually. Like, even just a few years ago, the whole alcohol scene was totally different.
All right, listeners, time for a little history lesson. Tell us what it used to be like. So before we get out of here, we got to rewind the clock a bit.
Yeah, Dubai's relationship with alcohol, it hasn't always been so relaxed.
All right, hit us with those throwback facts. What was it like back in the day?
Okay, picture this. It's like 2019 and you're a tourist, right? You're at a nice hotel in Dubai. You want a glass of wine with dinner.
Sounds pretty normal to me.
But here's the thing, you'd actually need an alcohol license just to have that drink, even as a visitor.
Wait, seriously? Even back then? So even a few years ago, it wasn't like you could just drink wherever. But needing a license just to have a drink at your hotel? That's wild.
It really shows you how much things have changed, right? And it wasn't just for tourists either.
Yeah.
Residents had to go through this whole thing, paperwork, employer approvals. It was a whole process.
Wow, talk about a buzzkill. So what changed? Why'd they suddenly decide to loosen up?
Well, it seems like tourism played a big role. Dubai wants to be the ultimate global destination, right?
Makes sense, got to keep up with the times.
Exactly. And those stricter rules, they didn't really fit that image anymore.
So they realized
Yeah.
to compete globally, they got to adapt.
Right. And that's what we're seeing with these new licensing rules, making it free for residents, making it easier for tourists. It's all about being more open, more welcoming.
It's that whole come experience Dubai your way kind of vibe.
Totally. It's about balance, finding that sweet spot between tradition and, what people expect from a global city. And that's what's so interesting about this whole topic. You see Dubai evolving right before your eyes.
It's a good reminder that even cities with strong traditions, they got to adapt, got to keep moving forward.
And for anyone listening who's thinking about a Dubai trip, this whole evolution of their alcohol laws, it's something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Dubai's always got something up its sleeve. Who knows what they'll come up with next? Maybe we'll be back in a few years for another deep dive to see what's changed.
Sounds like a plan.
But for now, cheers to understanding Dubai, alcohol, and all. Do your research, be respectful, and enjoy the ride. Until next time, safe travels, everyone.